Hello guys, welcome to the video. So this one gonna be a quick one and really simple one. I want to adjust center point of the enemies. Let me delete this extra tower and I'm gonna switch off enemy manager and I'm gonna place enemy over here and let me just maybe reduce cooldown of the attack to 0.5. Okay, now let's go to play mode. I'm gonna pause the game and I'm gonna skip frames, and here we can see that tower shoots sort of below the enemy, not at the center. It happens because pivot point of the enemy is over here, so tower thinks that this is the center of the enemy, not somewhere in this part, and that's what I want to fix. To do that, first I want to go to enemy script, and I want to make a variable for center point, and then I want to make a method that would give me that center point. So let's do serialize field, private transform center point. Okay, now let's go down here and let's make a public vector3 method. I'm gonna name it as center point, and it's gonna return center point dot position. Also, I did not explain this before, I think, but I did use it over here. If you have just one line of code, just like I have here, instead of typing return, you can go ahead and type lambda expression and then what do you need to do? So return center point dot position. Very nice. Now we can use this to get center point of the enemy. We can use it in the script of the tower as well, but tower does not have access to the enemy component. It has access only to transform component over here. We can easily fix it by changing the type of a variable for current enemy. Let's type enemy over here. So now we have enemy. We need to fill up this variable with the enemy component instead of a transform. And that will be very easy to do because we already getting the enemy component over here. So we can change this transform to enemy, and then over here, instead of returning new target.transform, we can just return new target. Okay, good. Now let's go here to the direction to enemy, and instead of using current enemy.position, we're gonna use current enemy.center point, because this is the enemy component now, and this is the method we just created. Also, we have direction to enemy over here, and I think it's fine if we get that direction with method over here. So I'm gonna do direction to enemy from tower head dot, just tower head, like that. So it works kind of the same as before, just a little bit cleaner. Then let's go over here. And this one is used to check distance to enemy from a tower. I think it's okay if we would do it something like this, but the distance between original pivot point and the center point we're going to set up is not that big. So to make it cleaner, I'm gonna use current enemy center point. Should be fine. So now we did a couple of small changes, but they will help us to target enemy in a correct way. Let's save it all and let's go back to Unity. I'm gonna go to prefabs of enemy and we can switch to 2D view. It will be easier to adjust. Then let's make empty object center point. We're going to assign this empty object over here. And then we're going to take the center point and move it up. And I want to move it a little bit further to the front, like that. Yeah, looks good to me. I think I like it. Let's keep it there. Now let's double check. Yes, we did assign. Okay, now let's go to enemy fast. Let's switch to 2D view. Let's make center point. Center point. Let's assign it over here, and then let's take it and move it up and a little bit forward, maybe here. Okay, I think I like it. I'm gonna keep it as it is right now. And let's save it by clicking this arrow over here. And now we can just go ahead and try it. Gonna go to play mode. Gonna pause. And then I'm gonna skip frames. And we can see now tower is targeting center point of the enemy, which I really like. I think it's very good. I can see it stopped over here. That happened because of the collider of the enemy. Collider is kinda big. So I think we could adjust it a little bit. Yeah, let's go out of a play mode. Let's go to prefab of the enemy basic and let's reduce the collider a little bit. I'm gonna just change the size of a collider to something like this. And you know, it's okay if laser does not shoot exactly at the body of the enemy, because it's going to be top-down view, there are going to be lots of enemies, and it's fine for a game like this one. But still, I just want to maybe reduce it a little bit to improve the feeling. Like this should be fine, I think. Yeah, not perfect, but okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Now let's save it. Let's go to enemy fast. Do the same. I'm gonna adjust it to maybe something like this, because this one is really slim. And maybe something like this will do. Could be slimmer. Let's reduce it a little bit over here to something like this. Okay, let's save it. Let's go back to Unity. Let's hit play mode and see this. Okay, I'm gonna pause it and here, pew. All right, looks perfect to me. Yeah, it's kind of good. And also from a top-down view, when you have lots of enemies, it's going to be barely noticeable. So we even didn't have to adjust it to that point. But still, looks good. I like it. Let's try with a fast enemy. Gonna remove enemy basic. Gonna place enemy fast. Let's try again. And that enemy is so fast. Oh, should zoom in here. Okay, kinda good. I like it. Yeah, this is good. Now, there's one thing we can see when tower shoots the enemy and enemy moves forward, laser stays at the same place. Yeah, so it looks like tower is shooting behind the enemy, which I don't really like. Look at this. So we shoot. Looks good, and then I'm gonna skip a couple of frames and we can see enemies moving and laser at the same place. So this is not really cool, and I think we should do something about this. Okay, this may take a little bit longer than I expected, but let's fix it now since we are working on center point of the enemy. So what happens here is that we give an endpoint to the crossbow visuals. Over here, we're setting it once, and then we only disabling a laser after attack visual duration. But at the same time, enemy still moves, and because of that, it looks like this. What we can do is something sort of simple, just a little bit tedious to set up. We can get reference to the enemy from tower every time we attack. So I'm gonna do private private. Let's do private enemy, my enemy, and then let's go to the coroutine, and over here, sorry, was it too fast? Private enemy, my enemy, that's it. Yeah, then we go back to the coroutine, and every time we're shooting, we're gonna do my enemy equals to my tower current enemy. Just like that. So now we have information about the enemy, and we're gonna update this position in the update instead of a coroutine until we can. So I'm sorry, I just have to think a little bit. Let's go to update and type something like this. If attack visuals enabled and my enemy not equals to null, then attack visuals set position of a first index to my enemy center point. So if I'm not mistaken, this one is supposed to update position all the time until we disable attack visuals. And I think this should work just like that. So this is what I did. You can see if statement over here and adjustment to the coroutine over here. And since we're here, let's rename it to the fix coroutine. All right, so that's all what we did. Let's save it and let's go back to Unity and try this. Supposed to improve it, but I'm not sure. I did not test this one. Okay. First I want to try with the basic enemy. Yeah, looks okay to me. I think it's good. Now let me try with a fast enemy. I'm gonna just place it and I'm gonna take a look at this without pausing the game first. Is it like noticeable at all? It's fine. Although I did notice something and I did not like it. Let me double check that. Yeah, okay. This is what happens here. Look, when tower shoots and we keep endpoint of the laser on the enemy, we still not rotating the tower because that's how we made it. And because of that, it looks a little bit off. Check this out. Tower looks at the enemy, it shoots, and here, oh sorry, over here, laser goes off the crossbow. Yeah, I remember we switched off rotation of the tower because we were testing this on the slow enemies and it looked better that way. But now, since we have all of these mechanics and systems, I think it's better to enable rotation back. So let's go to the tower crossbow visuals. Over here in the Wavefix coroutine, I'm gonna comment this out and I'm gonna comment this out, and we need to enable rotation by default. So I'm gonna go to the tower. In the wake method, we can do enable rotation true. Let's see this again and maybe let's test it with a couple of towers with a top-down view, just so we can imagine how it's gonna look in the game, just so we can picture it a little bit. I'm gonna delete this fast enemy, gonna enable enemy manager. Let's give it fast enemies of maybe 40. Spawn cooldown 1 second. Let's take another tower, duplicate it and place it maybe here. And let's duplicate another tower to this place, I think. I'm gonna give them damage of 2, just so they can kill something. On the enemies, yeah, damage 2 over here, I'm sorry. And then on the enemies, let's give this enemy maybe 6 health points, and this enemy 4 health points. Okay, now we can open scene window like that, and we can disable gizmos over here. Now it looks like a game view, and we're gonna go to play mode and just see it in the action. Oh, maybe cooldown. Give me a second. I'm gonna crossbow towers. Attack cooldown, I'm gonna do 1.2. Let's say there are no upgrades, nothing. Where are the enemies? Ah, there, okay. Okay, I think I like it. We have this a bit of a snappy effect when tower attacks new enemy, but this tower is supposed to be fast, so it can eliminate fast enemies that could pass through other defenses. So I think there is no better way to do this. I think it should be snappy like that. I have an idea how to improve the visuals for it, but that will come later. As of now, this is good. Thank you so much for paying attention, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful.